You're on your own. You're on your own. You're on your own.
It's that time again for me to unmute my mic. Live, something like television, right here from Texas to Twitch to you. Hope everyone's doing great. Happy Tuesday. Can you guys hear me now? Okay. Um I'm just gonna apologize right in advance here. I'm ill. I have a double ear infection going on, and so yeah, my brain is not 100%, but I'm all right. Like, don't worry about me. It happens sometimes with my allergies, so whatever. It's life. Uh, I haven't had one in like 10 years, so having one now sucks, but hey, it's all right. Thank you, Deep. I appreciate that. As we all know, it's better to look good than to feel good. um, God, I'm not even dignifying that with a response, Wes. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Um, if you are here for the first time, thank you so much for being here. I sure hope you stick around. If you're coming back, you're crazy, but I love you for coming back. My name is Curly. This is DMB Q&A, aka Drum and Bass Questions and Answers. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central, I have a chat with some cool person in the Twitch community, and I'm never going to run out. So I love that. We'll talk music, and sort of see where it goes from there. Saturdays, we just kind of do whatever happens. It's usually just me. Sometimes somebody pops in. It's a good time. It's flying by the seat of our pants, right? Yeah, BK, let's get hype. My first guest from across the pond is here tonight, Cryptoshell, the famous, infamous, amazing, one and only legendary Cryptoshell is here. I'm so glad. It is 2 o'clock in the morning in the Netherlands, and so he has really sacrificed himself to be here tonight. So I hope that you guys will ask him lots of questions, and we can make we can give him sweet memories so that when his children wake him up at the normal hour tomorrow, he has sweet memories to sustain him of a fun evening. So yeah. Um, Also, interestingly enough, Crypto is my 10th guest. So yeah, believe it or not, this is interview 10 that we've done, which is insane. Um, Thank you all so much for showing up and enjoying the show and making it fun for my guests because otherwise, why would they come? You have made my you are helping me to really sell my con to get people to come and talk to me. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Um, uh, yeah. So real quick, I just want to, since we are on number 10, and I'm feeling very grateful right now. Let's thank my first 10 guests. So SenseNet, guest number one from Escape Velocity Official. Talk about a brave girl. All I was some dork in a chat. Some, hey girl, speak of the devil. Um, uh, all I was some dork in a chat, and she decided to take a chance to come on my show. So thank you so much for being my first guest. Your bravery will never be forgotten. And you also made things really easy for me on my first show. So I appreciate that. Then, of course, we have the famous Catch 22, No Use for Anger, media darling, Twitch sensation. He came on also, was so every single one of these people was so kind and uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of gentle with me in my brand newness to streaming. So especially with my having no idea how to raid those first couple of those first couple of streams. Um, then we had Billy Lee, 916 Junglist, legend in his own right, um, legendary interviewer, drum and bass chatter, so that he would come and do my dumb show is shocking and was really appreciated by me. DJ Erock, thank you so much, my fellow Texan. Um, what a what a great interview! What a great guy. Beers totally gave himself his time. Uh, I know that 7 o'clock for me is one thing, but that's 5 o'clock Pacific. Really, just trying to, I'm sure, wrap the day up and deal with the kids and all of that. And he was kind enough to come. Wes, whatever, you came. Thank you, Wes, because you brought amazing stories, and it was just really awesome to like roll down memory lane with you. Everyone's stories are cool, but considering that I know you and was a part of some of those stories, that was really special. From the annex, it was so great to have you as well. Thank you. Golden Child, you too. Everyone is so many people have been intimidated by Golden Child's story because he has such a crazy one. But guess what? You're all interesting and you're all fantastic. And then Ed was Boiler Kitchen was my guest last week. What a great interview. First international interview. So I really appreciate that. And then tonight we have our first European in the Man Like Cryptoshell. So yeah, you guys are just amazing. Yes, Brooklyn, all legends, every last one of them, legends. All of you in the chat, legends. You guys have made this so fun for me. The guests are having a good time too. So it seems like everyone's having a good time, which means it's working and we can probably keep doing it. So, awesome. Let's keep going. Let's do a million of them if we can. That would be great too. So, yeah, I guess let's just go ahead and get started. Oh, the timer for audio one is on, guys. So you will see that roll up. He's doing his stroke recovery, but it's a long road. He's still going to need help, even if that's just maybe sharing his story or thinking about him, throwing him a sub, whatever you can do. And if it's ever you, I'll be talking about you too. So okay. So Cryptoshell. Really one of the premier, I would say, vinyl drum and bass DJs on Twitch. He was one of the early ones that I found. He hails from Rotterdam in the Netherlands, which brings all kinds of questions up for me. He has a crazy alter ego, and I would argue some of the best gifts to redeem on Twitch, period, that there are. So let's just bring him in and talk to him. So,
Hi.
all right. Hey, buddy.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hi. Yeah, again, thanks for having me.
I'm
And
so glad you're here.
I just hope I can live up to the 9 legends who went before me.
You're all legends. You're all legendary. It's gonna be fantastic. I have so many questions to ask you. I'm so excited. Y'all, I don't I know that a lot of you must not read about pages because so many streamers don't even do about pages. But boy, did I uncover some little nuggets today going through your about page. I'm so excited to talk about. So,
Let's hear it.
yeah. Thank you, Escape Velocity, for the couch scene. Yeah, this was Catch's idea, and yeah, it's nice. It's hella comfortable. So yeah, yes, the voice. Prodigy brings up an excellent point. Many of you may never have heard Crypto's voice.
No,
It's a very nice voice.
Yeah, it's super rare. I do it like really occasionally.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Have you gotten on the mic before in the studio?
Yeah, but it's just like I did it maybe once with like a super big dono where I didn't know how to respond, so I just said thank you, and sometimes like on the end of a stream or something. But
Okay.
that's it. I'm
Well,
not going to speak during my streams. I just want to let people enjoy the music, so to speak.
yeah. Well, you do speak between the music and your facial expressions and your chat. You definitely make yourself known, for sure. So, okay, let's just talk about what is obvious for some people here, which is that Rotterdam is not exactly known for a hotbed of drum and bass activity.
Yep.
So tell me how you found jungle in the land of Gabber.
In the land of Gabber, exactly, because Rotterdam
Yeah.
is known for Gabber. It's like
Yes.
well, there is some debate between Rotterdam and Amsterdam or OGs in the Gabber scene, but for me, it's Rotterdam. Yeah, can't blame me. But yeah, it all started when I was 12 and a half, maybe 13. I think I was 12. And one of my classmates had an older sister. and she handed me a CD, and she said, I think you might like this. And it was the Aphrodite album called Aftershock. And I took it home, gave it a listen, and I was like, this is something I never ever heard before. And I stepped right in. I showed it, or I let it listen to it to a friend of mine, my best friend. And that's where it all started. We're going to parties. We started collecting vinyl without having like a real setup, but just the old turntable from my mother, which was a belt drive.
Yes.
So that's where it all started. So I'm kind of young. Like I didn't had the 90s to rave in. Like I was 13 and it was in 2001. So I didn't experience like real 90s ravers scene and stuff like that. But I was super interested in jungle, super interested in drum and bass, and tried to get known all about it. Like all the artists from back in the 90s. Like I just took a deep dive into the scene.
Okay, so yeah, I do wonder about that sometimes when when someone is just finding it. So you you found it, you fell in love with it, and you decided to like dig in, like where
Yeah,
did this come from? What's the history?
exactly. And basically, it was also like the first step. I went to my friend, which I just talked about, and back then we had like Napster, Kazaa, and Soulseek as well
Yep.
already. And we just typed in drum and bass and just clicked everything we could with drum and bass in it. Mixes, titles, like all libraries of people, or it's like we
Yes.
need to have everything from this kind of music, So that's where it all started, and yeah, like then we went to parties, we went to hook up with other people, hook up with the DJs, and they were kind enough to be like peers of us and teach us the ropes. And
And wait, and you were 13 when you were going out to these parties.
no, that's I was 13 when I know the music, and then we have
Okay.
like youth places for
Okay.
like 14 to 16, 17, which were a bit alternative. So I was like,
Okay.
first I was like a metal and an alternative guy. I was listening to rock and skate punk and stuff like that. And in that place there was a lot of bands, but also alternative electronic music like techno and drum and bass. So, and when I was old enough, like 15, 16, they weren't being like that difficult at the doors, because it was like parties from 16 and not from 18.
Okay.
So we went to drum and bass parties when I was like maybe 15, 16 years old. Like tried to get every drum and bass party in the Netherlands, and it wasn't a lot. Like there were maybe two raves a month, and we didn't matter. We going there with public transportation and came back in the morning. Like the party was over like at 5, and the early train was like at 8:30. So we had to wait in the station like for 3.5 hours. It was, yeah, memories.
Hardcore.
Yep.
Wow. That's yeah, that's very hardcore. Um, so uh what do you think made your friend's older sister think, yes, baby crypto would like drum and bass? What kind of music were you listening to at that time? What do you think made her think you would
Um,
enjoy it?
I wasn't into the whole top 40 and like the mainstream music, and I was listening to like everything like the skater youth was listening to. So Blink 182, and I was listening to Metallica and all the basic rock stuff. And she was in that scene as well. And by being in that scene, she got to know some older guys who know drum and bass and other electronic music. So she got it handed down from them, and she just thought, hey, maybe you like it as well. So thank her that she did. I never
Sorry.
talked to her any.
Sorry,
Sorry?
I had a technical issue. So I missed part of what you said, but yeah, that was my bad. Uh uh so she uh you said you never thanked her? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah. I never talked to her again. Like I didn't see her for 15 years, maybe. So I
Oh,
should look
wow.
her up and ask, say thank you or something like that.
Look, see this thing? It's your
Yeah,
fault. You can point her to like a Rabida VOD and tell her it's her fault that these things happen.
yeah. And that same
Um,
album, which she gave me as a CD, I just no, well, I just early December I ordered it as vinyl. So that will make a nice complete circle.
nice, nice. So you were saying that you and your friend, as you guys were going through like Napster and Soulseek, anything that said drum and bass or jungle, you were like, gotta have it,
Yeah,
gotta have it, gotta have it. So you were like a mad collector right from the start.
yeah. We had gigs
Wanted
of
to own everything.
yeah. We just wanted to have everything, and we didn't know artist names. It wasn't played on the radio in the Netherlands. It
Mm,
wasn't played on the TV on MTV in the Netherlands. I later understood that in Belgium, which is our neighboring country, they were really adaptive to drum and bass. And of course, England, it's not far away, but somehow drum and bass and jungle never did like really, um, yeah, get like accepted in the Netherlands. And I think the reason is that the Netherlands is really known for its uh, gabber and also like the trance and all the EDM DJs. So it had like a big impact in dance culture in the Netherlands. So I think drum and bass and jungle are just uh, how do you say that? Like yeah, in some corner.
yeah, yeah,
Nobody listened to it. Yeah,
yeah. Uh,
which is a shame.
yeah, but it seems like that's the story for everyone I've talked to who wasn't in the UK. Basically,
Correct.
that's the
Yeah,
story.
yeah,
Um, uh, I mean, when ravers look at you and go, "Ew, you listen to Jungle?" You know, wow, that's no wonder we all like each other so much. We're like, foxhole. We're like foxhole buddies,
yeah.
suffering for our love of this music. Okay, so you said that these you and your friend, you started talking to these DJs and they were treating you guys like peers. Tell me about that. Like, how did
Yeah,
you sort of hook up with them and how'd they help you?
so the first party we went to, I think we were like 15, just 15, and our parents said like, you have to be home at 12, but these parties start at 11 and will go on to 5. Like, so the first time we already came way too late, like at 1:30, and we're pushing the limit, pushing the limit. Okay, shit, we have to go home. Okay, fuck, we need to stay here. And then we asked them, is there going to be another party, because it was in our hometown. And yeah, we're going to do this like once every 2 months. Okay, so we'll prepare, and we'll make sure that you're going to say to your parents you will sleep over with me, and I will say to my parents I will sleep over with you. You know, the kid stuff. But so
Classic.
we stayed out like all night and morning. And at that second party, we chatted with some DJs, and we were like 15 years old, and these guys were like 18, 19, which in our eyes we thought like, why do they want to like talk to these kids in their
Right,
eyes? But
right.
later I understand, like, yeah, they were just happy to give the music to the younger generation then.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, we went to every party they did in our hometown. One of the DJs actually lived like 2 streets away from me, and he showed me the ropes. So I went to his place like every week, and that same week he went to mine. So we saw each other for like, I think, 3 years, like 2 times a week, and he showed me the ropes. And the thing was, was already a bit older, so he had also all the old stuff like 1994 rave, the early jungle stuff.
Nice.
So he taught me like everything, and sadly he passed away a couple of years ago,
Oh, I'm
suddenly,
sorry to hear
which
that.
is crazy. But yeah, if it wasn't for him, maybe it wasn't even a DJ. So
Wow.
yeah, crazy.
So I mean, obviously he gave you a tremendous gift in giving you his time and,
For
sort of
sure.
investing into you in that way. Um, it sounds too like he wanted to make sure that you sort of knew where it had come from, like
Yeah,
the his old hardcore records and things things like that. Well, no wonder you love spinning on vinyl if this guy was your
yep.
kind of your I mean, it sounds like he was your mentor. Would
Yeah,
that be a fair?
yeah, that would be fair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
So
he teach me a lot of that stuff, because when I was starting to actually collect, like a couple years later, it was already 2005. 2003, 2004, 2005. So you already had like the more modern drum and bass, not like the old stuff from the late 90s. And so I was already starting like Sub Focus and all the new
mhm.
stuff.
Right,
And
right.
that was fun for me to learn about like really old school stuff. So that's why I also like to collect like really old things and not only have like new stuff.
Hmm.
For instance, now I I which is a shame basically, but I'm not really um, keeping my eye on the super new releases,
Hmm.
well, the big ones. But I'm really keen on like getting the old stuff from Discogs,
Hmm.
because I don't know, it's like I love collecting that history or something, and
I love
just
that.
yeah,
I, I have to say, like, and no use for anger. Anybody else that wants to weigh in, you tell me if you feel the same. Uh, uh, I would not have guessed that you only started in you said 2003 was when you first started listening to drum and bass?
yeah. 2001, I got that CD, and in 2003 I started collecting. So I went to the record shop when I was 14, 15,
Mhm.
and yeah, bought my first records.
Mhm.
I thought
Because
about it. I
I
don't know which one it was anymore, but
because I mean, I have to tell you, like, I started in '95, and when
yeah,
I found your stream, I recognized music in your stream,
yeah,
and I I very much related to the the sound that you have and like the vibe that you are putting out there. I would not have guessed that you basically missed the '90s entirely as far as like living
no,
it. I would say um, your education is evident in that, like the lengths you went to dig in and learn about what happened before you found it
yeah,
is very much demonstrated when you listen in listening to your stream and listening to what you play and how you play it. That's very impressive.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was like I'm still trying to, but like we were downloading mixes like on SoulSeek in
Mhm.
2001, 2002, and there were those also were mixes from 95, 96, 97, and
Right.
I'm still trying some mixes I still have somewhere on drives, but oh, what's that tune? And I'm trying to find that on vinyl, because it
Right.
has such a memory for me from exploring the drum and bass.
Mhm.
So even if we're in a later stage of me discovering drum and bass, I'm trying to get that older stuff as well.
I love that.
Yeah,
I just love that. So, uh, talk to you teased me with this briefly when we talked to what last week to kind of meet and greet before we did this. You teased me a little bit with uh having wanting to tell me about sort of uh how Jungle Vinyl got into Rotterdam and made its way to you. How it got to the Netherlands and made its way to you.
yeah. Um, Let me first talk about where I discovered it, because when I started collecting vinyl, I went to this record shop called Triple Vision in Rotterdam, and they were one of the only like record stores that had drum and bass and dubstep and stuff like that. And I came there so often, they offered me a job in the warehouse.
Nice.
So I took it immediately,
Yeah.
and I run the warehouse there for 5 years, 4.5 years, 5 years.
Okay, so let me back up as an American here. So
Yeah,
this warehouse, this is like it is a record warehouse. That's
correct.
what you're.
Vinyl only. I was in heaven. Yeah, and the owner of this Triple Vision shop plus distribution, because the shop was just a little part, but he had like 200,000 vinyl in the warehouse. Not only drum and bass, just a small part actually, because it was a lot of techno, house, hardcore as well. But what he did was he also imported stuff from the UK. And he started doing that in 1993 because there was no jungle, no drum and bass or whatever in the Netherlands to buy on vinyl. Other than like super big titles who were on major labels who came to the general record stores. But like all the underground stuff, he just drove once a month, I think once a month, just to the UK, got on the boat to the UK, and just filled his entire car with vinyl and sold it to other shops and to his friends. And by doing that, he started his business and started Triple Vision, and he's still going strong. The shop is closed a couple of years, but the distribution has grown. Also, they do a lot of digital stuff. But yeah, for me, it was a heaven to work there. And I worked there from 2004 to 2000. No, I say that incorrectly. 2007 to 2012, 5 years. Yeah, and I was doing the warehouse, so every record that came in got through my hands.
Ugh.
So when a new Ram record or a new Hospital record came out, I was like, oh, "This one's for me. This one's for me." I mean, almost my half of my salary went to vinyl there, and I was super
See,
lucky because I could buy it at wholesale prices.
yeah, but see, like you think he's doing you a favor. You're doing him a favor. He's like, I'm gonna get this kid. He's a little junkie.
Yep,
I'll pay him a salary, but he's gonna give most of it back to me
correct. Yeah,
because he'll want these records that I let him happen that I wave in front of him all day long. So now before we leave this, I want to make sure I understood it correctly. So this guy, he basically built his business starting with a road trip to the UK, filling up his vehicle with jungle and drum and bass and bringing it to the Netherlands because nobody else was doing it.
correct.
Wow. How did he get into it? I mean, he must have been really into it to A, see the need, and B, to care enough to go and get it. I mean, you don't have to tell me his
I
whole
don't
story,
know.
obviously, but
I don't know that far out. I don't know about the need. I just know he thought it was crazy that his favorite music, he couldn't buy his favorite music on in the Netherlands, so he just went there and and got it himself.
yeah. So he ends up not even just becoming a record store owner, but a distributor, and a distributor that's still going
Yeah,
out of that. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
It's he has like because it's like a small distribution. There's working like I think there's 10 or 12 people working there,
Mhm.
and they also took over a lot of big UK distributions because they were too big, and he was just really smart in a lot of decisions he did. So they're still standing, and that's great. So yeah,
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yes, as Beat Specific Guru says, that's how drug dealers work. Exactly. This guy, he saw this little
Correct.
vinyl junkie boy coming into his shop. Said, I need free labor. How about I get this kid? I'll feed his habit and he can help me out too. It's a win-win if we want to put it
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
nicest possible terms.
Well, I'm
Everybody
not
wins.
I'm not a kid anymore, and I need to support my family, so
Yes,
vinyl
yes.
ain't gonna cut it anymore.
You do have to do other things.
Yeah,
Um, uh,
yeah.
okay, so,
But
uh,
this guy is crazy.
yeah.
Um, he's also like responsible for putting Noisia and stuff like that into the people's ears. Like first release, I think, was on a label of his from Noisia, Blacks and Empire as
Wow.
well. Like not many people know him, but for the big drum and bass guys in the Netherlands, he has been a big influence. Yeah.
I
So
love that. I love that. And I should have known that you would have, stories like that because, you know,
I
being
worked in
accept
the center of that little community, and
yes.
also went to the big parties because he was the guy, and I did also a lot of after movie. So I went in so many backstages. I've talked like to every big DJ, I've talked to them sometimes for an hour, sometimes for 2 minutes, or just say hi. But I've like almost every DJ I've seen in person, and yeah, that's awesome. Crazy stories. I driving Aphrodite to the hospital, talking about his kids, like super wholesome stuff, and uh, talking to Ed Rush, who had like maintenance in his roof, and his roof came down. Weird stories you only hear in backstages. It's like not like oh, I like your music, and oh, you're a cool DJ. Can I have your autograph? Can I have a picture? No, it was just chilling in the backstage. I love that.
Wait, you mean DJs are real people?
Correct. Apparently,
Wow.
yeah.
I had here I was. I'm still trying to convince everyone I wasn't real, but, now the secret's out. You've let
Yeah.
everyone know. Um, okay, so Dre asked a good question. We're gonna talk about records more here. But Dre asked a question I don't want to miss. So, uh, how has life as a human and a DJ changed in the Netherlands in the last 20 years? You've been gone. He's been gone a long time. So another Netherlands connection here in the chat. You don't have to we'll narrow that down a little bit and maybe make it a little easier to
Yeah.
talk about. So um uh you find this vinyl, you start DJing, you're going to parties. How has the obviously life has changed for you because you've become a dad, but how has, the scene sort of changed?
Oh, when I was working there from 2008 to 2012, 13, uh, the main organizers of drum and bass parties, like some of the big ones, like Major League, you guys don't know it. It's maybe a Dutch guy in the chat does. I was working there, so it's like, oh, do you want to open, or do you want to close, like on the same night? We still have a slot open. You're interested? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm interested. Let's go. So I did a lot of parties with them.
Mhm,
And then in 2012, I became a father, and I changed my job. I left there, so it all kind of died down for me. So from 2012, I'm not really able to tell how it was,
mhm,
but I remember that 2012, 2013, CDJs were uh, becoming standard, and turntables were leaving. They were leaving already in other scenes, but in drum and bass, like 2013, there were no turntables except for if they're like specifically asked for, and if they
mhm,
were there were no needles on it, or were there crap, So the whole vinyl stuff went away,
mhm.
and for me, vinyl is like the pinnacle of music, I don't know. For me, that's a key feature of my I don't know music.
Mhm.
Um, so it became all a bit distant for me. I don't know,
Ah,
but no. So I still went to all those parties because I changed my job to be a cinematographer. So I filmed all those parties. I made after movies of all those parties, which was super
nice.
cool. Still could see all my friends backstage and stuff like that. But like it was a bit distant, you know. It was like I'm kind of out of the
Yeah.
pocket. I don't know how to explain that, but
Yeah. You're an observer more than a
yeah,
participant.
correct. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
wasn't DJing anymore, and my vinyl was getting dusty, and yeah,
Okay.
which is a shame.
Yeah. Before we go where I want to go from there, let's
Okay,
back up just a bit. So, um, your from your about page, it sounded like maybe you were sort of actively DJing like 2006 to 2011.
yeah,
Yeah. And it was vinyl only that whole time for you.
yeah, correct. There were still turntables in the clubs, and even
Mhm.
though, and sometimes I brought like CDs with me for tunes there that didn't came out on vinyl, but I still try to do vinyl only, and already you get noises of the people. Oh, you're doing all vinyl only? Oh, that's so cool! Like it's so normal for me, you know. But yeah, and then I quit my job at Triple Vision. Then I stopped DJing as well.
Mhm,
I did some gigs, but that was it.
mhm. So, did you do, you use CDJs, I guess, then for the stuff you couldn't get on vinyl, but was that your only sort of experience
Yeah,
non-vinyl wise, was just the
correct.
CDJ?
Yeah,
Okay.
never owned them. Just gotta touch them in the club. Yeah,
Uh, that's, that impresses me that you only touch them in the club, but were still comfortable using them. Because my I don't have a lot of experience with them, but my recollection was not that they were just like an instant pickup, like that there was a difference. Like,
there was a difference, but the ones that were in the club were already the CD they call it CDJs. I don't know all the makes and models because I never
yeah.
got into it, but they were already the big ones with like the
Mhm.
big jug wheel, like the big
Oh,
Pioneer
okay.
stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
So so I don't know. It worked for me. It was still you still had a pitch control and you still could like swing the tide of and manage the speed. So for me, it was I don't know,
Yeah.
not really
Yeah.
big difference.
Yeah.
800s, yeah, 800s it was. Dumps.
Yeah. Hey, Doms, big up. Um, yeah, I saw a DJ this weekend, on her controller, and I knew, even though she looked young, I knew she had been a vinyl DJ because she was cueing not with the button, but with her
Yeah,
hand. And I was like, "Yep, that's the giveaway. That's the giveaway
yeah,
right there, that, we have a former vinyl DJ,
correct. Yeah, yeah,
playing
yeah.
right now." Um, so yeah, so you had all this amazing access to vinyl, all the vinyl you could want apparently.
Yep.
Um, but uh shoot. Well, let's I can't remember where I wanted to go before, but I do know I wanted to get to this point. Um uh have I heard you play things on your stream that have not come out on vinyl?
Correct.
How do you do that, wizard?
Well, it's like how the DJs did it back in the days, like really back in the days when they had like dead files and they needed to play it in the club, and they were going to cutters to cut them a dub plate.
Mhm.
And there are still companies who do those. But I just get the tunes on Beatport. I get like the good files and I just send it to some company. I use a company in Berlin that cuts them to vinyl, so I can play the tunes I want, even though they never came out on vinyl and were digital only releases.
So, how did you find this cutting house in Berlin?
Google is your best friend. No, seriously, I was looking to a lot. I also found UK guys, and then through a YouTube link or something, it was like a guy who showed off his diamond vinyl cutter, because it isn't acetate, but it is like plastic or something, so it isn't really vinyl, but it's something in between.
Okay.
And with acetate, they like after 20 plays or 30 plays, it's garbage. But with these, you can play them over and over again, same like vinyl. But through that
Nice.
YouTube link, I found a company, and then I pressed a link, and then I went to some website which was barely done, and now it's done. But I was like, and the prices were okay, so I was like, let's try this out.
Roll the
But,
dice.
Yep, yeah,
Give this rando unfinished website my credit card information.
correct. Yeah, PVC cuts indeed, Billy. But
Nice.
I have to be honest, they don't sound really good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it's more a gimmick that I can play like, I really want to play this tune because the vibe is good for that tune, and it fits in perfectly. Then because it's mastered for digital, and they just throw it on vinyl, and vinyl
Yeah.
masters are completely different.
Yeah.
So, but I just think it's a fun gimmick. I don't do it. Maybe once every couple months, I press one or two plates.
Yeah. That's funny that I think it was when Special Ed was on, we were talking about how important the guys at the pressing plant were to the sound of vinyl.
Yes. Yeah.
How critical they are. And yeah, I can totally see now you have these. I mean, Simon at the Exchange, that guy,
They are legends. Yeah.
he put his name on his stuff. That's how much he cared about it. And God love your people in Berlin that are doing this for you. It's amazing, but they're not Simon. They're not doing what Simon was doing.
They aren't even mastering it. It's just a service they do for me. I'm giving their money, and they use that machine they have. It is a gimmick.
Right. Right.
They say we don't. They say they do it for a lot of like DJs, but I think they're like 90% of their clientele is like indie rock bands who want to have their EP on vinyl to flex with it or something like that. They're not mastering like really good bass and stuff like that.
Yeah. But hey, I look at that and I just think that is a testament to your love of the form of the sort of tactile experience of playing music, in that way.
Yeah,
I just don't
want to give in to the digital stuff. It is I just love picking something out of a sleeve and putting it on, and not just like putting digital buttons, or even because you also have like Serato and software like that, you can just leave the vinyl on and you just put the needle somewhere else. But yeah, I just like the whole fact that I have to sometimes hurry up because otherwise I miss the chance for a double drop. It's like I love the game of it, Where's that record? I need it now. This will work.
Yes.
I love
one of the things
busy.
I really, I mean, there's a constant there's a constant momentum, and you have to keep up. A vinyl set is a treadmill. Like you have to keep moving, otherwise you're fucked. Like you're going to be in a bad way. One of the things I really loved about people in the chat, if you didn't see it, was it 2 weeks ago you went to Amsterdam, or 3 weeks now?
You mean to Timox?
Yeah, to Timox.
Timox is not in Amsterdam.
Oh, I'm sorry, he's not.
No, but it was 2 weeks ago, I think.
2 weeks ago.
Not last weekend, but the weekend before. So less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So
He lives in the south, actually.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I went
yeah,
there. Yeah, it's 1.5 weeks ago.
yeah. So guys, Crypto and Tmox were together in Tmox lab. Um, uh, many hours. I only caught like the tail end of the broadcast on your stream. I saw the
Yeah,
whole thing on Tmox's channel. Um, it was amazing. I mean, first of all, obviously, just the fun of seeing two DJs play together in 2020 was really nice. You
yeah,
know, two unrelated, not married, not housemate DJs together was a refreshing sight to see.
yeah.
And then obviously, you guys know, respect, like one another. You know, you have similar tastes. You have um, this not entirely unique but rare passion for vinyl. One of the things I really loved was seeing you guys run around in his space, but also the sleeves. The anybody who's done like a back to back with somebody at their house, or I mean, even at a party, but at a house it's worse because there's just so much more there. But the sleeves sort of, half pulled out, still sticking out. Vinyl gets thrown in when it gets thrown in because you're, sort of moving around, and like that visual to me was so amazing to see because I don't know how many more times in my life I'm going to get that visual. Like, like I mean, when Subfocus and Wilkinson DJ together, there are no sleeves involved. There,
No.
there's no like dancing around one another trying to find this record or that record. For me, that was something really special. Yeah, that's so they don't play them twice. That's part of it, but I also remember very well those kind of I don't have time to put that sleeve back. I want to find the next thing that I want to play.
I must honestly say I always put the record back, but
Mhm.
yeah, when I'm on my own, I kind of remember which tune I played. But I think it's I have to get used to it because when I'm playing at him, I'm like I have to bend over, like, oh, where's that tune? And also when you said like um, I don't know where the tunes are at this place.
Right.
I have a system. It is a non-existent system because everything is it's like on, oh, this is RAM and this is hospital and the rest is all crisscross, like in eras or in styles and not on labels. And he has it perfectly alphabetically on labels, and even then I can find any tunes because for me, oh, this tune needs to be there. Oh no, he has a different system. Shit. Okay. Yo, T, where's that song? And it's crazy to play with him for me. So
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking so much though. Like the vinyls went back in their sleeves. I was thinking more how the sleeves were sticking up,
yeah.
out of the bin. I just love that visual. Like that. It had been a long time since I saw that visual, and it was such a memory for
I
me.
will try
You
to
know.
implement it in my stream for you.
Okay, but no, this is actually you bring up a really interesting thing, which is I can't believe I didn't ask anybody else that was on here is how do you organize vinyl? It's so particular, it's so unique. So you said that you have a system that's not really a system.
No.
Your RAM is generally together and your hospital is generally together, but then it's kind of
So I now have one, like, how do you call it? Like one row, which
Mhm,
is all RAM records,
mhm,
because I have so many of them. But
mhm,
the rest, like where all the hospitals are also in one thing, but there's also V records and
mhm.
in ground and what's in there? I don't know, lots of stuff. But like more like the vibey hospital kind of drum and bass. So I
Okay.
put those together
Okay.
because I don't want to run around between bins and forgetting where tunes are. So
Right.
when I'm doing an hour of vibey Brooks Brothers high contrast type drum and bass,
Mhm.
I like to have those together to quickly get them out, because I don't have 3 decks like Tmux does,
Right.
so I don't have the time to like take a minute, because with 3 decks, which is easy, when you're mixing, you already can take a record out, get it ready on the 3rd deck, and
Right.
when you're mixing the other one out, you already can throw the next one in.
Right.
But I have to actually physically take the record off and then
Yes.
search for the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And
So
the vinyl is it's a high maintenance mix. You can't just ignore it
no.
for a while. But you were saying that Tmox, his stuff is alphabetized.
I don't know if it's alphabetized, but in that sense of like when you have like all the RAM records, it's
Mhm.
actually from the early RAMs till the newer RAMs in the
Oh,
back.
so he's like got a catalog,
Yeah,
like
I
release
don't know
date
if it's
ordered.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. But
Wow.
I think he does have it exactly. Knowing him, he's like a
Yeah.
robot. So he's crazy, but he's such a good DJ.
Yes, yes, yes. You guys, I have to say that Tmox and you and Catch all made it very uh you made Twitch a place I could recognize enough to
Thank you.
stick around long enough to go, oh, okay, this is what that controller shit is. Like, because I was out for 20 years. I'm like, what are these little video games that these guys are playing music on? That's kind of what they look
Exactly.
like to me, like little
Yeah.
video game controllers. Um, uh, oh, okay. T-Bone was going to be here as our spare our
Dutch.
spare
Yeah.
Dutchman, but he is painting today, working hard for his family. Well, good for him. Uh, we
Priorities. Really good.
Yes, priorities. Absolutely. Oh God, Prodigy, no, that's not a roast. That is not a roast on controllers. I'm just saying that like when you're out of the game for 20 years and you come in and that's what you see, that's what they look like. They look like little video game things. No controller roast. There will be a controller in my hands next month or March. So fear
Awesome.
not. I have been assimilated. It is only a matter of time now. Um, Somebody had a really good question here that I feel like I missed. Hey, if anybody else has questions that you want to ask, please let us know. Okay, so Dre Darkroom asked, where did the name Cryptoshell come from?
Okay. Here we go. So my initial DJ name since like 2004 is Shell Shock, and um, when I think it was in, I don't know when the tune came out, but Noisia did a tune with Foreign Beggars, I believe, which is called Shell Shock, and then I was like, oh fuck, and now people will think I got the name from that one, and I still was earlier, but whatever. And it
Right,
was at the same time that I didn't do any gigs anymore. I stopped playing vinyl. A new life started with 2 kids.
right,
So it was done.
right.
I got into cryptography, um, games and puzzles and stuff like that. Went on to Twitch in 2018 or 2019, and when you go on some some platform like Twitch, you need to have a username. So I just thought, hey, I'm gonna combine my hobby with a part of my old DJ name, and then Cryptoshell was born, and
There you go.
yeah, that's the way it went.
Yeah,
Yeah,
guys, so this was one of the things I discovered today about Cryptoshell is that he is into cryptography. So tell the people a little bit about that for those that don't know about cryptography and how you got into it. And
I got into it by playing a indie game, which is an ARG, which means an alternate reality game.
mhm,
Alternate reality game, yeah, correct. Um, and basically, it is more story based, and you have to use like a real world stuff to finish the game.
Mhm.
So you get a task by you have to decipher stuff or search for the correct answer online, and
Mhm.
it works with codes and with ciphers. You have to decrypt with all kinds of tools online. So playing that game, you're wandering in WikiLeaks, searching for weird pages and stuff like that. It's really cool. But so from that on, I was like hooked on the cryptography stuff, and I wrote my own game.
Yes, you
Um,
did.
yeah,
Yes, you did. I found it.
and it's a text-based game. So you'll get a mission, which is like a small puzzle, and you have to fill in the correct answer, and you'll advance through the to the next level, which also advances the storyline of the game.
Mhm.
And when I was making that game, that was also the period I got into Twitch, just for a username, like watching Twitch, not even streaming. So that's where the how that came about. Yeah,
I just posted, guys, a link to Crypto's game in the chat. So, yeah, I actually am gonna play it with my chat on my stream on Saturday. We'll get
awesome.
started and
That's cool.
see how it goes. Yeah. Well, I can bring other brains into it with me, which
Yes, you
is,
need some. The first one, not to be offensive, I'm sorry, but
y-
I made the first mission like really hard
okay.
to like how do you say that in English? To like if you complete that first one, you're kind of interested in more than that.
Yes.
It's like an
You're
easy
y-
game to
y-
play.
you're weeding out the casuals, the filthy casuals. You're weeding
Yeah,
them out.
sorry guys.
That's fine. That's fine. No, I actually, I thought it would be something, cool to maybe do with I had actually been thinking like, is there like a game or something I could play with my chat on Saturday since it's just me? And then, yeah, I stumbled upon that in your about, and I was like, well, we'll try that.
Awesome.
It'll either be fun to play or it'll be fun to see how dumb I am that I can't, make it work. But,
Cool fact,
uh,
by the way,
yes.
the music in that game, there's like five soundtracks.
Uh-huh.
Um, um, uh, Probably some people know June Miller, who had a lot of drum and bass. And now I don't remember the name, how he's called right now. Let me look that up 1 second. But
Yeah, sure.
he's like a friend of mine. He lives in Rotterdam as well.
Mhm.
And I told him about this mission. He said, "Oh my God, I would love to make some music for it."
Mhm. I was
So
gonna ask you where the music came from.
yeah, let me look it up. Yeah, Abyss. He's called Abyss right now, and he is June Miller were two guys, and one quit, and the other went under the name Abyss. And I just sent him some music, like music from the movie Zero Dark 30, and like dark ambient stuff. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm really into making music scores." And he was like, "What do you think about this?" And then he sent me some bunch of tracks, um, and I loved it. And I said, "Can I use it for the game?" He said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead. No strings attached." And it's amazing.
That is amazing. I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, let's talk about vintage synths and ambient kind of stuff. It's been probably a month or so ago now that
yeah.
I caught your stream and your little brother was there with you playing his electric guitar, and you had what appeared to be a nice vintage synthesizer, and you guys were making the coolest shit happen.
Thanks.
Talk to me about this.
Okay, where do I start? Okay, so one of the guys who did like the early drum and bass parties I went to,
Mhm.
he's still active in music, and he totally shifted, and he has like a whole room of synths. and he is one of the guys I still see regularly. And we just make, without streaming, we make music in his attic, which has like, I don't know how many gear and synths and stuff like that. So he kind of got me hooked on it. I don't actually have like vintage stuff. I only have new things. But I would like vinyl. I like to try it to keep it analog. So I'm
Yes.
not gonna hook it up to a computer. Just using electronic DAWs and synthesizers and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And yeah, I the plan is to do some of these streams also on Twitch. I do them already, but I want to do them regularly. But for me personally, I don't have like the confidence to give enough different content.
Mhm.
So I'm afraid I will be, oh, there's Cryptoshell again with his sins pushing the same old buttons. I want to prevent that. So I'm also, after I got my new PC, I'm gonna
Uh-huh.
invest in some new gear. And I already talked to my brother. He wants to be part of it as well once every time. So yeah, and
So
my
yeah,
brother is
just
amazing.
yeah, so my description of what happened during that stream, that was it. That's the best I can do because I don't know this stuff at all. So do you want to describe for the folks that weren't there what you guys were doing? Because it was fucking amazing.
Okay, so I have a Novation circuit, and I use that as the kind of the brain, which has a beat in it.
Mhm.
And I used the Behringer Crave, which is actually a copy of a Moog Mother, um, but less cheap, or how do you say that? Much more cheaper.
Yes, yes.
But it's basically the same machine. For bass sounds, and I also have like a synthesizer I use for arpeggiators. Damn, that's the English word.
You know what? That word is
And
hard for those of us that speak English natively to say. So
arpeggiator. How do you say that?
arpeggiator, I think.
Arpeggiator. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. And use that for pads and stuff like that. And I hooked it up to two guitar pedals for reverb and delay and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And then I asked my brother, hey, can you do like ambient guitar stuff? Because he is a professional musician. He is a session guitarist. So he has all the stuff you need for that. And I just asked him, let's jam and let's go live and let's go. We didn't have a plan. We just, let's make music.
It was amazing. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Like I wish that I could do it justice in my description. Like the whole big portion of it that I saw you do, there wasn't even a beat in sight. It was fully ambient.
Yeah,
And
correct.
then like
I love that.
very far into it, you brought in, some beats. It was unbelievable. Like so you weren't around in the 90s, but in the early 90s, at least in America, mid 90s, sorry, I wasn't there for the early 90s. Um the what they called a live PA was really popular. It
Hmm.
was a really cool thing where like, an electronic artist would basically bring out all of their gear and make their music live for you. So, they had their synths and, the whole thing. Well, that's really what it reminded me of. And it kind of,
Like Tangerine Dream or something like that.
yeah, like big one for us was Prototype 909. And, it brought me back to that place of like, I'm so new to this music and it's magic. And even watching it being made, it's still magic. Like,
Yeah, that's the whole thing I love about it, because I sometimes see YouTube videos of them, and then it's an 8-minute video, and they prepared everything and how they progress in the song and and still it's live. They're doing it live, but it's like it's a pre-made thing. Like I know which chords I'm gonna use and stuff like that. But with my brother, it was sometimes we had like this connection, like looking each other in the eye, and oh my god, this is amazing. Let's continue with this. Let's take this path. It's an evolving thing. I love that about the whole life thing. There's no there's no uh, paved path, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and there's nothing but possibility. Like
Yeah,
it's utterly limitless when you start. It could go in any direction, which I'm so glad that I um have relaxed into this format because I'm trying to kind of do the same thing of letting a conversation just sort of happen the way it is supposed to
yeah.
happen and, see where we go. I almost forgot to ask you about the thing with your brother. I'm so glad I remembered. I'm so glad I remembered to do that. So, but it is something that you want to kind of do on a fair semi-regular-ish kind
Yeah,
of basis.
maybe twice a month or something like that. But
Just
I
tell me, I'll plan my life around it
all
so
right.
I can
I'll tell you.
so I
Yeah,
can watch it because it was
sure.
amazing. I
I will
remember
do
that
that.
day I was actually trying to get something done, and I kept having to stop because I'm trying to just, like, have it in the background, and I can't have it in the background because it's just so cool.
You're too kind. We're just messing around.
It was so no, no, no. It doesn't matter whether you were just messing around or not. It was still so, exciting and fresh, and it's not something that I've seen very often on Twitch. I'm sure there are lots of people that do that kind of thing, but for me, it was something I hadn't seen,
I've seen
uh,
them, but not
done
with like
before.
also like a guitarist.
Yeah.
So for me, that was also an extra element that made it special for me. And also,
Yeah.
I haven't seen my brother like in 4 or 5 months, and then he was suddenly here. We're making music. It was also not want to say emotional, but it was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
we're back together again, and yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Well,
it
and,
was fun.
uh, to you, you were obviously having, sort of that sort of, again, like, tactile manipulation of equipment to make music just like you do when you're mixing, but you were doing it with another person too,
Yeah,
which adds this whole other element.
makes it so dynamic. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And again, it could go anywhere, like at
yeah.
any time. So, I heard you say already, that like you like keeping it analog. Have you thought about like producing drum and bass? Or is that,
I've actually produced drum and bass, but we're talking 10 years, 8 years ago,
okay?
and that I think I have a couple tunes online somewhere, but I'm not gonna publicly tell you guys where it is.
Oh,
if you
come
if you look
on.
if you look for it, maybe you can find it. No,
Okay.
it was like we put a lot of time in it, but it was always just underneath the quality it had to be musically wise and also mastering wise for it to be like let's send it to a label.
Mhm.
One of my friends, the guy who I discovered drum and bass with, my best friend, I listened to that Aphrodite album too. He did get some releases on
Mhm.
Focus Recordings, but only digital and no. But he did get some releases, so yeah. A
Yes.
small group of friends did have some success in drum and bass producing.
Uh, you know, that's there are many ways to succeed in life, right?
Exactly. I
Like,
love playing the stuff.
yeah, and you know, you have a lovely family and, you support them and take care of them and, like uh uh time, man. Like if it was unlimited, then,
Yep.
you know, then maybe we could all do all kinds of different things, but,
Choices.
there's yeah, yeah, everybody, you get you get 24 hours, and you have to figure out what's the most important thing to spend that 24 hours on. So,
Yeah.
I think it's thank God not everybody's a producer. Can you imagine? I mean, like,
No.
we got enough shit coming out already to sift through.
No, I can't imagine anymore me sitting behind the computer for 4 hours trying to find, oh, is this amen gonna work or I'm gonna do use. I don't have the time or energy anymore.
Right.
Plus, I don't think my wife would like it if I spend more evenings not with her.
Yes. Well, that's why, like, that's why for me, like, I want to interact with music DJing again, but I know for me, I don't have it in me to do the vinyl hunt. I just don't. Like, I I have seen enough of it from, my time on Discogs, from, talking to No Use for Anger about what he goes through. I have so much respect for you guys that do it. Um, it what I mean, like, is it just like, what drives you to actually, I guess, keep chasing those records? Is it just addiction, or,
I
you
think
know?
you can call it addiction, yeah. Um, and Discogs is such an enabling website in in this addiction. Uh, they let you create a wanted list, and if
Yes.
you put things in your wanted list, it will grow, it will grow, it will grow, and you will get emails. Hey, this one is lowered in price. Get this one right now. I'm like, okay. And what does this seller have any more in his in his list? Oh, and then it goes on and on and on. I can spend hours on this because and Billy knows all about it.
Mhm.
It is man, yeah. I don't know. It's an addiction, I think.
Yeah. Well, it is. I do have to say, it's hard for any of us stateside to feel too sorry for you because of the shipping situation.
Yeah,
Um, like, I think uh, I think everyone that collects records that is in this chat right now, or that watches this stream, will have some element of jealousy that you are at least on the right side of the Atlantic to get
yeah.
most of those things
Yeah, correct.
more
But
easily.
still, getting
Yeah.
stuff from the UK now is more difficult
Yes.
because of Brexit and also
Yes.
because of COVID. With times, I ordered stuff December 2nd and still not here. So I'm afraid it won't
M-
come at all.
Major stuff or private stuff from Discogs?
No private stuff like vinyl, but
Mhm.
there's like 4 or 5 packages of vinyl that are floating in the air somewhere. I don't know where they are, and
Oh no.
they don't all have tracking codes. So
Oh no.
yeah, yeah, that's me saving money to put an extra vinyl in the package. But yeah, that's stupid for me. But whatever.
It's like
But
your baby's wandering the earth and you don't know where they
yeah,
are.
yeah, we'll see. But
Mhm.
Brexit makes it difficult to get stuff from the UK because everything above, I think it's 22 euros or 22 pounds, you now have to pay extra taxes for and fees and stuff like that.
Ugh.
So I'm trying to get them from the big German uh, websites. There's a couple of there's Dex and there's DJ, and they also get like the big labels from the UK. So I'm hoping to get the new stuff from there. But like old stuff from Discogs is a lot of UK for me.
Mhm.
So that's hard.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
still easier than for you guys. So I'm so sorry. I'm privileged on this side of the pond that you
For
guys
so
have to
many.
like wait 3 months for a boat of vinyl, and you have to pay like I don't know how many dollars for it to ship it. Yeah, that sucks.
Okay, so changing direction a little bit here. So
Yeah,
2012, you became a dad.
correct.
Life changed a little bit for you. You still had your records, but they were beginning to collect dust.
Yeah, figuratively
So
speaking, because I took care of them. But yeah.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me, not one bit, not one little bit at all, that you still found time and all of that to take good care of them. Um, what, like, did you still have, like, a home studio setup? Would you still play for yourself or, um, you
I
know
I had some of them in boxes, so like they were in that room, but I put them in boxes for dust, and some
Mhm,
of them were in like the IKEA cabinets I have here, and I had
mhm,
like the mixer and the two turntables on top of it, and I had like plastic sheets over it, so it
mhm,
wouldn't collect dust, and that was it. And it was in a room with like a laundry racket. How do you say it? A laundry foldable thing where you can
uh-huh,
put your laundry on to dry, and and
uh-huh.
and and a guest bed. And then it changed because my second son was born, so he got that room. So I placed it to our own bedroom, and it was also in the corner, like in the way. So my wife wasn't too fond of that. Um, yeah, until Twitch came along. So
So,
yeah.
yes, tell us, how did you find Twitch? How did you end up on it?
A coworker told me about it, told me about streaming. I'm not such a gamer, so I'm not like the uh, game PC guy who plays a lot of online games. I have a console. I play PlayStation 4 and play like adventure games. I like Tomb Raider and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So he told me about Twitch streaming, and I knew it existed, but I was like, oh, that's only games.
Right.
So I was looking at some gamers and was like, yeah, I don't know, okay, what is this? And then I found the topic music, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. Let's check that out. Typed in drum and bass, DJ, stuff like that. Nothing really came up. And a couple of days I did the same, and I found Tmox. And it
What
was
year was
like,
this?
oh my God, this is awesome. This guy is playing vinyl and he's doing it on Twitch. He's streaming. Oh my God, this is what the hell? And I'm like, and then suddenly, like after a half an hour, it clicked. I saw like, um, I think you can still see it, but he has like a blue sign on the wall,
Mhm.
which is a street name sign, and it is unmistakably Dutch. So I was like, this guy is Dutch. I didn't know that. So I just said greetings from, and then my area code from Rotterdam. I said 010, and he was like, "Oh my God, 010! I lived there." Blah blah blah. So we had an instant like connection, even though he didn't live there anymore. He lived like 2 hours away, and we got to talk about stuff like that, and he helped me a lot, like starting the stream and stuff like that. And I started in this room with like half curtains hanging there, no lights, laptop on the wall on a short shitty rig with it was insane. But that's how I started in
Mhm.
April 2019. So
Wow.
yeah,
Holy crap, you have not been doing this very long at all.
no,
Wow. Coming up
almost
on
two
your 2
years.
years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Congratulations, by the way, January 7th, you posted on your Instagram that you had hit 3,000 followers.
that's insane.
You're
Thank
up
you
to
all for following me, or you people in chat. It's
Yeah. You're
For
up
me,
to
it's insane.
3,200 already just in a few so you've
For me,
got
it's insane. It's
yeah.
I'm just a guy playing final and letting you enjoy it. But it's for me that this platform connects so much people. I mean, I really the whole live aspect is super cool because I can chat with you guys. We can have connections. We actually get to know each other like
Yes.
on some basis, and I love that about it.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, you're sitting here at, oh god, almost 4 o'clock in the
It's
morning?
3:30 almost. Yeah.
Yeah, 3:30 in the morning talking to a girl in Texas for an audience of people in I can just tell from looking at the chat, Canada, the UK, Florida, Texas,
West Coast probably.
yeah, somebody's on the West Coast here. one of those Floridians is actually a German. Yeah, uh, that's just it's wild, and like not just all totally random people, but like people that you actually enjoy.
Yeah,
It's insane. It's
that,
insane.
that's the best thing about like going live and like seeing people enter the chat and people saying yes, this makes my day, saying how much they love the tunes they hear, bringing them back to some memory or whatever.
Mhm.
I just love to hear those stories. So thank you all for being in my chat all the time. For you
Well,
guys who are.
what was it like for you to I guess sort of interact with your vinyl again through streaming? Like,
Ooh, it was tough. I didn't touch it for like 7 years or something like that,
yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, this is." It was a learning curve again, but it's like riding a bicycle. For me, it was more learning the like the gentle nudges of beat matching, how
Mhm.
much I needed to touch the wheel, um, than knowing how to mix, because all the tunes there were stuck in my memory. I did
Right.
still know when to throw them in and stuff like that on every tune. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. But
and
it must have been
sorry.
exciting to be spinning again. Like
Yes,
like
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
and I have to be honest. If it wasn't for Twitch, I don't know if I ever would touched it, because I'm not the person like facing a wall and playing those records. I did sometimes put a record on. Oh yeah, this is cool, nostalgia with a couple of friends and the beers. And did you know this record? Blah 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 blah. But but for me, this is super fun because there's a whole community behind it, and you can chat with each other. And I have to give a big shout out to Prodigy FPS. I think he was one of the first guys that ever came into my stream with like the two people viewers, which was me and then another screen and then him. So a big up for the
Yes. Nice. Yes. You remember your first
yeah, for
ones,
sure.
especially in those from what I hear, especially in those pre-COVID days when
It was a steep hill. Let's leave it at that. No, it was a lot of like 2 3 viewer streams for a couple of months, and then it went up for like 10. And uh, I went to Tmux as well in those times before COVID,
Mhm.
so that helped because he was already known. He already had like then I think 4,000 followers, and he rated me a couple of times. So yeah, that helped a lot, and
Yeah.
COVID helped a lot. It's a fucked up situation. Don't want to get into it, but like people staying home on their computers helped
Mhm.
a lot. So yeah,
Yeah.
can't
Well,
deny
yeah.
that.
I when I saw your yeah, yeah, by the way, thanks all of you for getting me back into Instagram. I had taken a
Nice
long
one.
hiatus, but when I saw your post about 3,000, I went back through your I was just, creeping on your Instagram because I hadn't been on Instagram in forever and I only started following you recently. So I was, going through and I saw that in May you hit 1,000. So
Yeah.
between May and a couple weeks ago, you tripled your numbers. So yeah, uh, what was that like as a streamer to go from like I'm sure you had a good amount of viewership before all of this, but then
No,
all of a
I've
sudden
looked at
everyone's at home.
you said it to me, and it was like, oh damn, this is really fast. It didn't compute with me that it was that short of period for me.
Mhm.
But I looked into the data, so to speak, and like in January, February, it was like 18 people, 20 people, 15 people, and then boom, it skyrocketed to like 30s, 40s, 50s, which was crazy for me because I
Yeah.
still didn't even have 1,000 viewers, 1,000 followers, excuse me.
Mhm.
So yeah, again, COVID helped so much in like I think with all streamers.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's
Yeah.
insane that so many people want to watch like a random guy from Rotterdam playing old drum and bass. It's like, but thank you.
Well, you do stick out in a, you guys that are playing vinyl, you definitely stick out in a sea of in a sea of controllers. Not that they're, let's be very clear here, everyone. I am not here to roast digital DJing. I'm going to be assimilated for sure. Um, but yeah, it definitely gets people's attention. And I mean, I know certainly for me, stumbling into Twitch, what the hell is this? This is only we're a bunch of gamers, and
Yeah.
uh and so, the whole thing was like so random to me, but seeing you guys that were playing vinyl, it was like, okay, wait, I can relate to this. Like this is something I can grab onto, and maybe I can stick around here and see, what's going to happen. So thank you, because you guys created a space that my boomer ass could relate to.
Well, I just want to thank all of you guys as well, because if it weren't for you guys, I would probably quit. Like, if there was nobody in chat for me, then it hadn't had a reason for me to continue. And other than viewers, also the other streamers. I mean, Billy, No Use for Anger,
Hmm.
Tmox. Um, Billy knows we talk a lot on the phone. We talk about streaming and stuff like that, and how we can entertain people, and like how to keep up with cool stuff and doing cool things. So yeah, big ups to all the other streamers as well for creating this community, and you as viewers that I just love. It's like its own bubble within Twitch.
Yes.
With just there's no toxic. I don't know. Probably there are some toxic people, but for me, I think it's just super wholesome, and
Yeah.
I really love this community. So thanks again, everybody.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, while we're at that, then I'm just gonna thank DJ Erock, who is a freaking wholesome son of a bitch for sure, for cheering 100 bits. I love you, Erock. Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Nice one.
Um, yeah, this community has been just unbelievable. I mean, unbelievable. I was talking with somebody last night, and wherever people are, there are always going to be negative people, right? Because that's humanity, right? Somebody's always going to be upset about something. That's
Yeah.
just the way some people are. That's just it's a numbers game. Ratfink, thank you so much for the sub. You genius, amazing, creative character. If guys, if you haven't seen Ratfink stream, you owe it to yourself. This guy is so creative in the things that he comes up with. Um, just incredible. Hey, Carla, good to see you. Oh my gosh, now that's damn love instead of mad love. Holy shit. That's the first, sorry, I'm sorry. New affiliate alert. Yeah, that's the first time I've seen someone modify one of my emotes. So now it's like damn love instead of mad love. I'm into it. Um, but yeah, like wherever that negativity is, I'm not running across it, and that makes me really happy.
Yeah.
Um, the level of generosity that people have, and I mean, yes, with obviously, as we're seeing right now with subs and bits and all of that, but that is so small when you compare it to the generosity of,
Yes.
oh, you need help figuring out how to do this thing,
Exactly. Yeah.
let me help you. Or, oh, Rachel, your compute well, I just outed myself. Curly, your laptop sucks. You can't run OBS. Here, I heard about this other thing, try this, let's do that, how, like, instead of, like, nobody's viewing each other as like
Exactly.
competition, you know.
Exactly. And especially No Use for Anger. I mean, we talk a lot, and also when I had a problem, he was like, "Oh, let me get onto your computer, like with I don't know how that software is called anymore, but like he can take over my computer, and he was fixing all kinds of stuff I couldn't do myself. So big ups to him. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, TeamViewer indeed. Yeah, hacker.
Yeah, I mean, he helped me set up my whole my stream elements. I'm like, oh my god, stream elements, the chat commands. I'm like, there's 6,000 commands here. What? He's like, okay, just go through, just turn these ones on and leave the rest of them off. And yeah, I mean, it's funny because in Texas, I can point back so far and say, okay, if you have seen a live drum and bass event in Texas, you can thank these people because I can trace the history, right?
Yeah,
Well, in Twitch, if you enjoy live drum and bass DJing, there's probably at least 3 people I can think of that if you have ever enjoyed live drum and bass streaming on Twitch, you should thank at least these 2 or 3 people for sure. T-Mox, right? No Use for Anger for sure. Um, and I don't know, I'm sure someone else, but those are the ones for me that I'm always like, will never fully know the extent of contribution that they have played in literally every moment of entertainment I get on this on this platform. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
and then again, we're just a couple of guys playing Vine over you guys, and
It's this big love fest. It's this whole like
yeah, yeah,
symbiotic thing, right? Because like you said, you uh it, for you the interaction is part of the pleasure of it, right? Like,
correct.
I
Big
mean,
part, big part. Yeah,
yeah, I mean, anybody who's ever DJ'd for a crowd knows that feeling, the way that that feels when you are sharing music you love and you see other people are loving it and they are, enjoying it. There's a
yeah.
pleasure from that that nothing else touches. But at the same time, like what you guys are giving to, um, I mean, you're giving us your time and you're bringing us so much, joy. It's this fantastic, wonderful feedback loop of just goodness worldwide.
Yeah, the thing for me, like an active chat, you can compare it. I've talked about it with other guys. Is when I was actually playing in a club and people are hanging on the booth. Oh my god, you're amazing! This tune, blah blah. Okay, this tune is sick, and people are shouting reload and whatever.
Uh-huh.
When chat is going crazy, it does for me. It does the same thing because you get actually interaction with the people who are listening to you, and that is it's like I said, that is the best part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was honestly for me as like a viewer, that was a big learning curve for me. Like, okay, I'm sitting here, I'm behind my computer, I am absolutely loving what is happening here. How do I express it?
Mhm.
Because like in a live setting, I can make noise, you can see me, you can, whatever, like there's all kinds of ways. Right. So now I have to learn how to do it in text, you
Yeah.
know, and hence you get, all caps sing-alongs and, other dumb shit that that I come up with to let you know that I'm engaged and enjoying what's happening, but with a whole bunch of other idiots that love it too. So
Yeah. No, that makes it so awesome.
it's a good thing. It's a very good thing. Okay, you guys have any specific questions for crypto? I'm trying to make sure that I hit all the little nuggets that I found in your about. Telling you, you guys got to read these about pages. You find all kinds of cool shit like cryptography, and I made my own text-based game, and that leads you to, oh yeah, the music was actually done by a well-known drum and bass artist, and you know, yeah, crazy. Oh yeah, okay. Plans for the future, crypto. What you got going on, buddy?
Um, I'm hoping to get the funds together in February to get a new stream PC. So no more 15 FPS streams anymore. I don't know how it's for you guys, but I'm 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 really annoyed by it that I can't get like quality video to you guys. So that's an upgrade for the stream. My granddad is gonna play some jungle next
Oh,
week.
that's right. That's
Kappa.
right. Okay, so you
Might
have there's what is your granddad's name?
I have to think about the name for him.
Uh, uh, okay. So
Let's
yeah,
call him Doug. Let's call him Doug.
Doug.
Yeah, his name is Doug.
Okay, Doug. I like it. I like it. That sounds like a nice solid Dutch name, Doug.
No, I have to think about it. No, but it's gonna be a fun stream, I think, or a weird one. Just let me know afterwards, and if
Why
you
not both?
sorry,
Why not both? Fun
yeah,
and weird.
it's gonna be probably fun and weird for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Dre said this, and I wanted to just say it too. I've never noticed a problem with your video, honestly. The only video problem I've ever had was my internet, not your
yeah. Okay.
not your videos. So,
Well, for
I
me,
love your stream visually. Like your gifs are fantastic. Your little alerts that pop up are amazing. Your follower alert gets me every time. The guy with the hair, you know.
yeah. No, yeah, I like to implement those funny things, but for me, I'm streaming on a 2015 MacBook right now, and it's actually falling apart. Like half the screen is dead. I have to minimize all screens, and I'm using the big TV as a second screen, so that helps. But um, for instance, when I am raiding, I'm not able to see how much time there is for the raid. I'm just winging it because everything is just freezing up because the CPU just can't handle it.
Mhm.
So it needs to be replaced by something better.
Well, I look forward to it. I'm sure that, you will have many folks helping you, make it just
Yeah.
as tip top as it can possibly, be. Okay, this was a good question from No Use for Anger. What's the coolest thing you've ever shot cinema-wise?
Jesus. Okay. That's a curveball. Let me think about that. I did. Oh, damn it. I did lots of cool stuff. I did a commercial in Spain, TV commercial. I did a lot of fashion stuff in Germany and Austria, which
Mhm,
was super cool. You come to like super crazy places in Austria. There's like the crystal brand Swarovski. It's like
mhm. Yes.
not diamonds, but I don't know how you call them. But they have like
Bling,
sorry, yeah, bling.
bling.
They have like an entire like theme park about their brand with all kinds of glittery stuff. It's crazy. It's like an art installations of all glitter, and we did like an all fashion shoot there in the middle of the night. So that
Oh,
were
wow.
some really rare experience you'll get to enjoy when you're in this business.
Nice. How did you
Yeah.
get into cinematography?
Um, I was I don't know. It was more like this. It was a hobby of mine, and I thought I can explore this as a job. So I took some courses, not like an actual video class, like you do 4 years in school for a study. But and I just started. I just started my business and did like I started with weddings, video clips for friends, those after movies at all those drum and bass parties, and that's how I
Mhm,
paid the bills.
mhm.
And along the way, I came across some people in the field, and I started the business with them, and we grew and we grew and grew and did bigger and bigger things. So yeah,
That's awesome. I
doing that
love
for
it.
8 years, 8, 7, 8 years now.
I think it was very clever to, uh, uh, kind of, have to change your lifestyle a little bit because, you had a wife and a baby to take care of, and yet figure out a way to stay connected to music and do it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Uh, to
There
take
was
a Go ahead, I'm
uh,
sorry?
sorry, there was like a moment that like in the year after I quit at the record distribution, that like I was doing every party in the Netherlands I did after movies for, because it was fairly new in the Netherlands, those after movies, and I was hooked up with all the promoters. So I was like typing them emails like, hey, I can do this, I done this one with this party you want to, and everybody was interested because social media was becoming more and more important. And
Mhm.
yeah, it was, I was like in the at the right time at the right moment kind of thing. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Oh, Charlie, this is okay, this is kind of an interesting question. I don't know if you can describe it, but hey, why not? What does it feel like to be interviewed for a show like this?
uh, uh I
Fun,
was
I hope.
it is super fun because I like um the fact, how do you say that, I never talk on my streams, so
Right.
I think it's fun to show a little bit more about me as a person.
Yes.
So next time on the stream, you can relate or not relate with it. But I think that can be fun.
Yes.
Also, a bit nervous for the fact that English isn't my native tongue. So I'm kind of like, oh my god, I can't get out of my words, or I don't know how to say this, and so I hope I'm clear for everyone.
Well, your English is so much better than my Dutch. So, you're doing great. If you tried to have me on your stream, it would yeah, no, it would be bad. It would be so bad.
That would be a challenge. Yeah.
It would definitely be a challenge. You know what? That actually brings me to a question for you. So, like, just in my experience in the community and then also looking at my own data, um, it seems like the majority of this community is kind of residing in um, North America or like North America time zone kind of situation. So, like North through South America. Um, do you experience that in your numbers, and do
Yeah.
you plan your streams for that?
I'm actually thinking about changing my schedule from because I play Saturday afternoon mine time.
Mhm,
So when I start, it's 7 a.m.
mhm,
East Coast. Um, so I experience the numbers I, for instance, have when I play in the evening are lower in the beginning because people aren't even awake yet.
right,
So I'm
right,
thinking about doing the afternoon stream also in the evening. So I have consistently the time slot will be consistently throughout the days.
mhm,
But
yeah,
it was more like a family thing because uh, my wife wouldn't like to spend every evening without me.
yeah, yeah.
So
Well, Heather said this too, she likes Saturday mornings with crypto, and I agree. I mean, there is, you know, there's there's always someone to listen, right? Like, I
that's
mean,
true. But
like
it is true that like Twitch is more US based because I think it is originated in the US and it started with US with gamers and stuff like that. But I think there's more adaptation in Europe right now, more and more than before.
mhm,
So yeah, I don't know. I just, for me, I like playing at evenings personally more because I'm getting more into the vibe. Or so, like in the afternoon, it's light outside, and I don't know.
yeah,
It feels kind of strange also, but
yeah, yeah. Well, so when I do my stream on Saturday, uh, it's heinous for me because I'm up at like 5 a.m. my time to
yeah,
do it. But I do it because um it it leaves the rest of my day free. If I don't know, we ever leave our homes again, that would be nice. But also it's nice to be able to interact with um UK, Europe
Yeah.
folks more readily. But yeah, you know,
But
I
that's why I play evenings as well, because when I play evenings and it's morning or afternoon for you guys in the US
Mhm,
and
mhm.
in Canada. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, this is a good question that I'm surprised didn't come up before now. Uh, DJ Praise asks, Crypto, how big is your vinyl collection? Um, I think we talked about where you shop for your vinyl collection for your vinyl, but we can talk about that again. And then, what's your favorite subgenre? We did not talk about that.
All right.
So
So it's a three-stage rocket. Sort of. Do you call it
yes.
like that? Yeah. My vinyl collection is, I think I have 900 drum and bass vinyls, and those are all my Discogs collection. So you can look them up when you type in collection in my chat. It will direct you to a Google Doc sheet, and you can see every tune I have and
I think Moose for
requested.
Anger just shared that with us in the
Thank
chat.
you.
Big
Big
up.
ups. But then again, I have also like maybe 100 miscellaneous, like random techno stuff from my parents, hip hop thing here and there. I have like Wu-Tang Clan and stuff like that. And I also have 250, 200 to 250 dub and dubstep records from the early days. So like the golden days of dubstep. So not the I have some screechy stuff, but I'm more into that old stuff. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Okay, so wait, the other
Oh
question
yeah, sorry.
was, where do you shop for your vinyl? Are you still getting most of it from uh the Triple V distributor folks?
I get some stuff because they don't import UK stuff anymore. They just do their own labels, but they do Critical. They do 31 Records. They do a lot of the stuff from the old UK distributions. So I
Mhm,
get some of the stuff, but it's like once every 2 months I get like 4 or 5 releases I really like, and they keep me up to date with release sheets, so that's
mhm.
handy. But most of
Yes.
it is from Discogs and getting old stuff I like from my wanted list from Discogs.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
occasionally I check out Bandcamp for releases when it
mhm,
crosses my path, but that's
mhm.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
and what's your favorite subgenre of drum and bass?
Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't know how to call it, but like I would call it like dance floor fillers or whatever, like the high piece sub focus stuff, prototypes. So, um, damn it, yeah.
Well, like, give me an example of like some of the tunes that you're talking about, like that fit into that little category for you.
So the newer sub focus stuff that came out is super cool, but it is more towards liquidy sometimes.
Mhm, mhm,
But like the old sub focus tunes, like the Prodigy "Smack My Bitch Up" Prodigy of the sub focus remix, that's
mhm.
super hyped up, and they're
Yes.
just dance floor killers. And I like that kind of stuff. I like basically Ram Records is like maybe my favorite label as well. I have the most of them. I have like
Mhm.
80 Ram Records or something like that. So, and
Ram
those
Ra
are
Ram
all the
Records is not a subgenre, but it is a vibe for sure.
correct, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
And next to that, the whole hospital vibe. So I don't know
yeah.
if you call it liquid, because for me, pure liquid is really fuzzy and um, how do you say that? Like caliber and stuff. I call that
Uh-huh.
liquid. I
Mhm.
So I don't know if there's a subgenre for like high contrast and stuff,
Yeah.
but some people
Yeah,
call it
I know it
liquid as
gets
well. But
yeah, I would have a hard time with that too, like High Contrast, Danny Bird, London Electricity, like, to me, that's all liquid, but that's because
yeah,
but
but
that's
then
also, like, next to Creative Source, which that's liquid too, but they're not the
yes,
same, but yeah, like, it's
but for me,
I'm
like I
feeling
call
you.
I call also like that liquid jungle, for instance. those old PFM tunes and good looking stuff from
Yes.
the 90s.
Yes.
I call that liquid as well because it's so chill. But
Yeah.
I put the jungle before
Yeah.
in front of it. But
I would say what you're describing is
yeah, atmospheric,
melodic, like
intelligent.
melodic drum and bass, like
Yeah, yeah,
of
yeah.
it, like a lot of different things can be melodic. You can have like pure smooth, chill stuff. You can have more dance floor upfront stuff that's
Yeah.
still very melodic. Yeah, yeah,
So for when I played in the clubs, I played like tunes that get people started to dancing. So
right.
not like the difficult tunes or super jazzy tunes. No, I just played like bangers to keep people moving, and that's
Yeah.
what I like the most. I like to move as well.
Yes. Really,
Yeah,
I
I
mean, you're
know.
so stoic.
I'm like this.
Okay. Dre is going to be is my new co-host apparently because he has another great question. If you could go back in time to when you first learnt vinyl, what tips would you give for learning to spin on vinyl?
Track knowledge
Mm,
is so important. You don't have visual cues. Well, you do have cues. You can read vinyl if you know what to look for. Um, but you don't have a visual like you have on digital. Oh, there's going to be the drop or whatever. You
mhm,
can't set any cues. You have to know how the tune goes, how long breaks are,
mhm,
stuff like that. That's the most important thing.
mhm,
Um, and then secondly, I think, yeah, beat matching. I don't know, beat match, beat match, beat match. Try to learn the tunes and know um, how to beat match, because when you don't know how to beat match, you can't get any clean mixes in, because yeah, it's not digital, so you don't have like a sync button to help you out.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I would just throw in patience. Uh, it is
yeah,
a
practice.
it is yes. I honestly can't believe I ever actually learned it because I generally tend to give up. Um, it's a bad habit I have. Like when I'm not good at something right away, it can be hard for me to stick with it. So I can't believe I stuck with it long enough. But yes, you will suck at the beginning. You just will.
Oh,
You will train
definitely.
wreck.
I have hours and hours in my bedroom and I had two belt drives which I learned it on. So
yes.
when I got my first direct drives, I was, oh my god, I'm a god DJ. I can do this.
Yeah.
It was like learning on those. So my
Uh,
big tip is learn,
learn on
learn,
shitty
learn,
equipment.
learn on shitty equipment, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, But yeah, and God, no use for anger. So right to use the pitch shifter, not the platter, to make your on the fly like adjustments, um,
yeah,
like where you the the standard what everybody does when they first learn is, oh wow, that record needs a little nudge up, so I'm going to touch the vinyl to nudge it forward, or I'm going to touch the platter to slow it down. It it works and it's expedient, but especially if you're playing something very melodic, you can hear it every time.
yeah. I've
And
learned it that way, and I try to. It's super hard because you can hear
yes,
the string. You can. It's super
yeah,
annoying, but
yeah,
it's so built in my system. I still do that, but when I'm thinking about it, I'm
yeah,
trying to, okay. So the other tune I'm not mixing in and mixing out doesn't have a string, so I will be, instead of getting the mixed
yes,
in melodic faster,
yes,
I'll just get the other
yes.
one slower, because then you'll reach the same pitch as well.
Same, same. Because oh man, like I mean, if you can learn how to do it with the pitch shifter, do it because that
Yeah,
is it. But it's a mad game of like
yeah, you
jam it
have to.
forward, pull it back. I mean, it's a. I was just starting to learn
Yes,
how to do that.
sorry.
Uh,
No use
yeah.
for anger. You're right. Until they have both strings.
Yes, yes, yes. Um,
Oh my god.
yeah, Visual Serenity, thank you so much for the sub. You're amazing. Yeah, until they both have strings. Well, you know what? We'll burn that bridge when we come to it, okay? we'll get there. It'll be okay. But yes, no, that's excellent advice. Very good advice. Also, don't ever do what I did. Um, I took advice to count on the high or to match on the high instead of on the kick, and on the snare instead of on the
Oh
kick,
yeah.
which that works great until some mad amens start coming along, and then you're
Yep.
fucked, as I learned very well. Um, Always on the one. Yep, no use fingers right.
Also, a little trick: if you don't know when the drop is, and it's like all strings, and then suddenly there's a drop, so you can't like, okay, when is it coming?
Uh-huh.
I'll take it on the first snare. I'll let
Yes.
it drop and put it in on the next snare. So then
Right.
you won't miss the cue you
Right.
were intended for. So yeah,
Right.
another tip.
Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. This is a good one. Indigo Moon asks if you would ever do tutorial streams. You'd have to bust your mic out.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if there's any like people who want to see that. Well, Indigo would like to see it, but I'm also thinking about doing more YouTube content. So maybe that's cool content from YouTube, so you can look it back whenever you want.
Yeah. I think everyone would love that. I say more crypto. Give us all the crypto content. Oh God, I feel like there was another one. You guys have asked a lot of really good questions. Oh my God, it's 8:59. What the hell? How did this happen? How did it
I
go
don't
so
know. We're having
fast?
fun.
We did have such a good time, and your English was fantastic.
Thank you.
Didn't hang us up for not one single solitary second. T-Bone, I did notice you drop in, by the way, but I was
Hey,
so
Dutchie.
I was so enthralled by your countrymen here that I didn't get to say hello. Oh, Peaches asks a good question. Are Rabida and Candy Girl doing a Valentine's stream?
I
It's a good
haven't thought about
idea.
it yet.
It's a
Damn
good
it.
idea, right?
I've
Peaches.
actually talked to the booking agency if they're available, and I have to talk to them about that. But I think
Will they be out of
I'll ask
rehab
them.
in time? That's the real question.
That's the real question. I'm not sure. I have no idea where he is right now. He might be in the Middle East. He might be in Las Vegas again. I'm not sure, but I'll get back to you in that.
Let's hope he's wearing a mask at least wherever he is.
Yes, let's hope.
And it's probably gold lame and
Just want to say that. Oh.
Okay, wait. So we'll do T-Bone a solid since he is your fellow Dutchie. Can you ask if crypto prefers? I am not even going to try to
Can you
say
put
it.
it in the
I'm going to put
screen?
it up
I
there.
can read it.
A Fabo over American fast food chains.
The Fabo. A good old patache met from the Fabo is always nice every once in a while. But yeah, we do have some of the American fast food chains. We don't have a lot. We have McDonald's, we have Burger King, we have KFC, and Five Guys. I don't know if that's something from the US, but that's about it. So we don't have a lot of choice, but we do have like those typical Dutch fry places, like the Fabo.
Yum. Yeah, so yeah, no use for anger and the chat are dying. They're dying for a crypto catch 22 back to back, and I have to say I wholeheartedly support this this idea, and whatever I have to do to if there's anything I can do to make it happen, well then, I'm
It's gonna
I'm all
happen.
for it.
It's just a
Well,
matter of world problems with some kind of disease that's lurking around. So
yeah, right? I have to say though, in my capacity as wannabe Oprah Winfrey for Twitch Drum and Bass, I really feel that I need to be there to cover such a momentous occasion and really bring the people into it, really, be their eyes and ears on the
I think we
ground.
should do have like a pre-stream talk, maybe.
There you go. Yes.
There you go. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. My co-host Nismo will she'll ask the hard-hitting questions as well. So, thank you so much. This has
No problem.
been a blast. I have forgotten that I don't feel well, and that is amazing. I feel like I was kind of all over the place a little bit, but I thank you for
Me as well.
hanging in there with me. You guys
You're
are
doing great.
amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for making this little corner of Twitch so awesome, because you really do. And you'll definitely have to come back, and maybe we'll do it at a better time for you. So
Sure.
that
Whatever suits. I didn't mind it. I'm a bit tired. It's 4 a.m. right now, but
yeah.
like I said earlier off stream, I'm a night owl. I'm not up to 4 most of the times, but sometimes I reach 2, 3 a.m. So
Right.
I'm okay. So
Cool.
thanks for having
Excellent.
me. Thanks so
Yeah.
much.
Chat, thank you for being here. I guess I should find someone for us to raid. Visual Serenity, thank you for the bits as well. The bits, the subs, you guys are amazing. I too am hoping for a new streaming rig next month or in March. So I will get to be better about acknowledging your lovely contributions real time. You're amazing. Deep is on, right? So yeah, let's just raid Deep, because that's easy, and I know how to type his name, and I don't have to rely on the raid buttons.
I have the
Next
same
week,
problem.
guys, I almost forgot to mention it. Next week, Juice Drum and Bass is going to be here on Tuesday. I'm super excited for that. So please stick around. See us, chat with us. We'll bring the Pacific Northwest into your living rooms, offices, computers. I don't know, wherever. All right, let's see if that's going to go through. Yes, it is. You guys are amazing. I love you all
Yeah,
so,
thanks,
so,
guys.
so, 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 so much. And yeah, I'm gonna put the pre-roll on. Crypto, I'm gonna pull you out, but if you want to chat for a second, I'll get you back. Okay.
I'm gonna go to bed,
You're
I
gonna go
think.
to go sleep. Yeah. Okay. Good night.
Yeah, so thanks, guys, and see you all soon.
Okay. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
All right, peeps. I am gonna get out of here too. We're gonna go raid Man Lake Deep. Give him proper love, y'all.